Well, thank you so much, Josh, for joining us. My name is Reyna Harvey. I'm a broadcast journalist here in the Bay Area, and we are featuring Josh Vasquez for our spotlight interview on first generation college students who are thriving as professionals now. So, Josh, I'll ask you this. What's been the greatest asset that you've had to use within your professional journey because of your experience as a first generation student?
Thank you, Raina. I really appreciate the question. Hi, all. My name is Josh Vasquez. I currently work for Insider as the account director, but actually, as of a couple days ago, I have a new job now. I'll be the senior account executive for Amazon for advertising sales. So this new job is about a week or so. So this is very fitting in terms of the questions because I went through about 11 hours of interviewing. But to come back to the question, I think the biggest asset for me, or what I've learned thus far throughout my whole process, is really curiosity. Asking a lot of questions, being creative with your questions. Sometimes when you ask questions and you say the word why, it comes from a great place, but it can be seen as combative at times. So you have to really be strategic and creative with how you ask questions. Example would be, I love your thought process here. Could you please walk me through how you arrived at the solution versus why did you do this? So it's something that you learn throughout your career. And as you kind of go within different industries, you need to be very strategic, very creative as you ask these questions. But curiosity is definitely the biggest asset. Just because I didn't know a lot going through college and going through my first career, and because of that, I asked a lot of questions, and I've always been the curious of fellows. So it's suit me, and it's paved the way for a lot of the successes I've had.
I love that. The best thing in life is to ask questions and not to be ashamed to do that. And you finding a way to do that is critical. What are the top 3 things that you did in college that prepared you for career success after graduation as a first generation student?
Yeah, so really actually took some more classes after college. I was a sociology major, but I was always really interested in business. But I came from a blue collar family, first generation student. Business was not in our DNA. At least I thought it wasn't. And when I took these classes, if you looked at my class, all my business classes, and you combine them, my weighted GPA was 4.0. And I just didn't think about that. It's why wasn't I majoring in business? And not to say I didn't like sociology, but I was just so scared to take these risks. So in terms of preparing, it's really looking at doing something out of your comfort zone, right? And the same thing with your career. You might think that you should be in this career just because of your certain, resume or whatever the case may be. But take that chance, take that leap to try something different. In addition to that, it's really the time management portion, I think, is another thing that really got me through college and just kind of I worked I think 3 jobs my senior year. I had 20 units my final year of college. So time management was key. So when I got into the workforce, it was just an easy transition to understand, okay, this is my priority. This is what I need to get through for the next 5 days or so, whatever the case may be. And just prioritize your time. Take time for yourself by all means, but just really kind of fitting everything in certain boxes. Another thing was in college, I interned in DC, and I never left a 50-mile radius living. I lived at home. I went to UC Riverside along with Reyna Harvey here, and loved my education. But I've never left until I went to DC and interned, and just gave you so many different perspectives, right? Understanding cultural, political beliefs, which really impacted my career long term. Of understanding that when you work in a corporation like an Amazon or an Insider, where I'm currently about to leave, it's just there's different belief systems, different ways of doing things. So doing that really opened my eyes to a different world essentially.
Gosh, that's very powerful. What you just share with us here. For you, what's been your greatest professional challenge as a first generation student, and how did you overcome that specific challenge on your professional journey?
Definitely, great question. For me, it's understanding the value that I bring. So, I came from a blue collar, working class family, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I applaud those people who have those parents, because I think you get a certain trait from them. And it's really that you should always work hard. But as you get into the business world, or wherever the case may be, into a certain industry, you need to involve that into working strategically. Don't forget to work hard, but how do you work smarter? How do you find loopholes? How do you expedite things? I think it's the biggest key for any industry that you work in. It's understanding that you have this value of you work hard because you're a first generation student, and that's wonderful. But it has to evolve. You have to evolve, and that's how you show value to a company, your peers, and so forth.
I love that one. what is one word of wisdom that you wish you knew when you graduated from college as a first-generation student?
So many. I would say it's probably a phrase I picked up early on. You can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. So you really need to trust the process, whether you believe in a certain deity, karma, whatever higher power that you hold to be true, has in fact set a path for you. So as you make decisions, it's okay, and it's okay to have a goal, and it's a great thing, but enjoy the process. Make mistakes, continue to learn from them. I think we get into this, this arena where we're scared to make a mistake. We just need to do the job right and not show people that we made mistakes. But it's such a great sense of humility when you make those mistakes and you learn from them. And a smart person learns from their mistakes. I applaud you if you're one of those wise people who learns from other people's mistakes. So again, there's nothing wrong with making mistakes, but as you continue through your career path, don't focus so heavily on the end goal. Focus on the process, right? There's a lot of joy that comes from the process. Happiness is, reaching the end, but happiness is predicated on a certain outcome. Joy is constant. So you need to be enjoying every aspect of the path that you're on, and know that you're on it for a reason. And then when you look back, you're going to see all those dots connect, and you're going to realize, wow, like that's why I went through that. That's why I took that job. That's why I didn't do well here, because it got me here.
I love that. There's so much power in the process. Sometimes we just need to focus and be present in our journeys, right?
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much, Josh, for joining us here today. We are so grateful that you took time to share with us his wisdom, and we wish you all the best of luck.
Thank you, Reyna. Always great seeing you.